have another update for you on something that happened on the Long Island Railroad. As you know, back in September, I was witness to a train, as you know, that was delayed on the Central Branch when we were doing a mainline outage, a shuttle from Hicksville to Babylon, and we were delayed, and then our connection did not wait. I think you remember that video very well. So I want to read to you, this was a response I got a couple of weeks ago. I hadn't had a chance to read it to you, but I got it actually on the 19th of September, but I figured I would read it to you now. This was a complaint to the Long Island Railroad about the connection not being held. So, and I said here that what I wrote then was that the crowded shuttle train from Hicksville to Babylon was delayed for just over 10 minutes at Bethpage. Arrive in Babylon to see our train connection 450 Express to Penn Station left without us, as well as the 455 local train. Several hundred people had to wait for the 520 train and had to go all the way to track 3 instead of across the platform transfer. They should have held the 4:50 p.m. train. It exists for the passengers from the Ronkonkoma and Port Jeff lines that are diverted to the South Shore because of the double track outage on the main line. Connecting trains should wait for their connections to arrive before leaving. Because of this failure, people coming off the shuttle train from Hicksville were delayed over 45 minutes, having to take an overcrowded local train instead of an express train that would have left just 10 minutes behind schedule from Babylon. I have included screenshots from the MTA app as well as the crowds left stranded for over 20 minutes at Babylon. The app gave wrong information and had our train listed as canceled even though we were waiting outside Bethpage. So this is the miscommunication, is that the crew probably of that connecting train, maybe they thought it was canceled and they just left. But that train exists solely for the purpose of people on the main line. That's an added train. The 450 train is an added train when they have these mainline track outages that runs express from Babylon. It exists purely for that purpose. But yet they decided to have it leave without the people it's supposed to transport. Instead serve those important people on the South Shore. So here's their response. I have been asked to respond to your email regarding your recent travel experiences on the MTA Long Island Railroad. We sincerely regret the inconvenience you encountered on August 28, 2022. Actually, it happened on August 28th, when you were unable to board your connecting westbound train at Babylon. Please know that LIRR personnel make every effort to ensure that our trains adhere as closely as possible to their schedule. We know your time is valuable and that you can count on us to provide timely and reliable service. Unfortunately, unexpected events can sometimes interfere with our on-time performance goals. The LIRR also understands that a misconnection can create a hardship for our customers, and we strive to be as accommodating as possible when coordinating connecting trains. While we understand the difficulty that you experience and regret our part in creating it, the LIRR does not typically hold connecting trains when one train is operating more than a few minutes behind schedule, as this would cause even more delays and misconnections. While we truly make every attempt to accommodate our customers, we have to make minute-by-minute decisions based on that day's specific operational circumstances. Nevertheless, we apologize for any difficulty you experienced. We are reviewing all recent delays and disruptions to determine how they could have been handled better, and your feedback will be incorporated into our review process. So, and it says here, please be assured that every attempt is made to minimize delays and choreograph the passage of trains as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible. The LIRR is committed to providing safe, secure, and reliable train service to our customers, and we will continue to strive to improve that operation. So they pretty much said, and the person who wrote me was Brian from the MTA customer engagement team. Understand that they have a schedule to keep. However, I have seen trains often being held of excess of 10 minutes to let Montauk trains pass. I've seen that quite a bit, all right? But yet it doesn't seem like the main line gets that same kind of treatment. So to me, this doesn't change my opinion at all of how the Long Island Railroad handled this. They still should have held that connection because that connection exists solely for the purpose of people on the main line, not the people on the Babylon branch. They're supposed to take the 455 train, all right? That's the one they were supposed to take. All right. But that train, because they didn't want to inconvenience and delay those very important people on the Babylon branch with their white skin and finance careers, the rest of us had to deal with a delay because of that. So I don't buy this one bit, but I figured I would share this response for you anyway. At least they did respond. But I've seen it's. I can understand, all right, they don't want to hold, but they do hold connections sometimes for a long period of time, especially if it's a Montauk train that's late. I've seen that quite a bit. That again, those people on the Montauk line, they're very, very important. So, people can wait for them, but when it comes to people from the main line, well, we're not as important because we're not, people coming back from the Hamptons. We're not white. We don't have lots of money. We're a diverse crowd, so we don't get that same kind of treatment. So, I appreciate them getting back to me, but it still doesn't change my mind as to what happened. When you have a train that solely exists, that 450 train solely exists to serve people on the main line. And again, that train, you got to understand something. That train, we got in there at like 4:50. Well, we would have gotten in there at 4:55 had they not actually let the 4:55 local train go too. So they would have only been 5 minutes behind schedule. But again, those people, very important people, they're very important to the railroad. That's their bread and butter. The rest of us can just, we're second class. So, not surprised, but I'm glad they did respond. So I figured I would update you on this. Thank you for watching.